What's up, everyone? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy, Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
Catch us every Monday and Thursday. I said that correctly. Frank G, whose empire are we discussing today?
Today, we are going to speak on Austin Post, a.k.a. Post Malone.
And part of the reason why we are discussing Post Malone, first off, he's 25 and he already has an empire, not to mention that he is continuously building that empire. I just hope he, of course, lives long enough to see it unfold, which I think he will. But he was just on Joe Rogan's podcast, so it made sense.
Made sense that we spoke about him. He seems like he was having a great time on mushrooms, smoking, drinking, chilling with Joe Rogan.
Well, one, I think everyone who chose with Joe Rogan would have a great time. Anyone who chose with Post Malone probably is going to have a great time. Now, Post Malone is an incredibly interesting character. I think he's one of the top artists outside of Drake. And, of course, mentally, also a very interesting figure.
Oh, yeah. Well, talent-wise, that goes unspoken. I mean, he's, broken plenty of records. I think he has the longest streak of his album being streamed on Billboard's 200. Stoney streamed longer than Michael Jackson's Thriller, which was 76 weeks. So that's a 34-year record that he beat as a 25-year-old.
Yeah, which means he probably – how long has he been on the top 200 there?
2016.
So – he's been in the top 200 for almost 10% of his life.
Insane. And
yeah.
He has a vibe to him, I think, honestly, that people just mess with. I mean, he's like, is he country? He's just cheerful. He's chaotic. He's a beer drinking, face tatted, just rock star.
That is problematic in the hip hop community.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
Because he got put on by portraying himself as a
White Iverson.
And he used that culture to almost catapult him and his music. And then when he got to the level he was, he then switched over to other genres. Now, whether he did this intentionally or not, or this was just, I doubt it was strategic. He's just probably fulfilling music that he loves to create.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I guess anyone can interpret it how they want, but it seems strategic because he
did have braids and grills.
Yeah, he had braids and grills. He had White Iverson, so he releases that on SoundCloud, thinking it was going to get a few hundred hits. Wakes up to 30,000, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then, that potentially could have been his only song that was like a hit. So then he made Congratulations, which was kind of that vibe. So he got 2 hits, and everyone just started messing with him.
Yeah, but he sure has a lot of hits now. Jeez.
Yeah, every album that I listen. I still listen to every single album. He's the man. He just seems humble as hell too.
He's known for being one of the nicest celebrities, musicians out there. He gives all his fans time, but what's so interesting and fascinating is really what I think he struggles with mentally. I don't think he's there or he loves himself the way, a confident person should.
Yeah, well, I mean, he says it. He also self-deprecates himself in many interviews on some of his songs. I mean, he even says a little self-deprecation goes a far way. I mean, everyone feels for him in his songs, so they're rocking with him. You can't hate on a guy who's expressing his feelings in a authentic, nice way.
No, in fact, it's actually pretty interesting that you said he beat Michael Jackson's record, because as we're sitting here talking about him, they almost have the same mental disorder in the sense that, I don't know what you call it, but there's some people who just think they're ugly.
He definitely thinks he's ugly. I mean, he says it. He's got his face. He has his face tattoos.
And that's why he continues to do it.
Yeah, he's like, he said, when I look in the mirror, I want to be able to look at my face and be like, yeah, that's cool, instead of I'm ugly. So he obviously has those issues, insecurities.
And MJ had the same thing. But what's amazing, and we've discussed this in past shows, is one, it doesn't matter what he looks like, he's getting any single girl he wants.
Yeah, anything he
However,
wants, period.
and anything he wants, he's got. But what's sad is that's all superficial. Or yeah, superficial, that's the word.
So yeah, well, that's all material things, or like maybe the people you're messing with aren't
Well,
like your
they're
true loved
fake.
ones. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but he seems happy. I mean, obviously he's not happy. I mean, he's got sad songs, but when he's around his fans, he seems like that's where his passion lies. So
Well, I mean, he's also probably on a lot of drugs, which typically makes people happy.
I don't know about a lot of drugs, but he certainly is on some drugs.
He was going viral months ago, people worrying about his health because he
Yeah,
legit did not look well on stage performing.
he was performing "I Fall Apart," his most emotional song ever. I've
Man,
seen you just
great
drink and
jam.
perform. I've seen you a little mess, like drunk or fucked up, performing with some passion. All right, it
Are you coming
happens.
at me right now? Are you coming at me right now? Are you saying that
All
I
I'm
take
saying,
consumables and get emotional?
all I'm saying is Post
That's what you're
Malone.
saying right now. You
Post
know
Malone
what?
is the man, and I don't think he does anything too hard. Although Stoney opens up with the line, "I just drank some codeine through a broken whiskey glass."
Yeah, okay. Prove my point. Also, fuck you because you just compared me to Post Malone and I don't compare you to
I
Post
didn't
Malone.
compare you to Post Malone. I'm
What?
just
You said we both perform
yeah,
under the
and
influence emotionally.
all right, and I also
And
was
we
for
both
Post
kill it.
Malone. Exactly. So I don't see the issue here. I just hyped you
Well,
up.
I don't need to be under the influence to
You
love
don't.
myself and be happy. Way it
I
seems like he possibly may.
maybe I don't know. I think he's happy with his music. I would say. At least he's
Which
got that.
only comes through a creative flow when he's under the influence. See, me, you, we have jobs where I cannot be under the influence. Otherwise, I don't have a job no more.
Well, I mean, if you could be under the influence for that long and still produce, I mean, he's also in business ventures. He just made his own rosé, which I've heard is delicious and
Yeah,
affordable.
like every other empire we've discussed where they
The Rock.
created alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah,
The Rock.
everyone has an alcohol. Everyone has
Yeah,
alcohol. Drake
everyone
has
does.
champagne. Rock has
Yeah,
tequila.
champagne poppy. Yeah. Well, that's because it's a huge market. So I mean,
No,
but he
just
also
because he
he.
likes rosé.
I mean, yeah. Well, I could imagine he. I mean, he likes Bud Light. Clearly, they sponsor him.
Yeah, that's very smart on his end because no
Yeah,
one really likes Bud Light.
yeah. But Bud Light's been the face of beer forever. Like when I grew up, that's what I saw my parents drinking. Then I finally tried it. I'm like, what the hell are you drinking?
Look, I'm an advocate for marijuana. I smoke marijuana myself. I do not smoke any nicotine cigarettes. I would say he needs to tone that habit down.
Yeah, the picture of like Joe Rogan post, and it says Post Malone was here. It's literally an ashtray with like 30 cigarette butts in it and like 4 empty beer cans.
Yeah, and yeah, that makes sense. Now, that interview itself, first off, you could tell they were on mushrooms, kind of. I don't know. I don't know if that was real or not, but the conversation lasted 3.5 hours, which Joe Rogan typically ends it at 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen 3 hour ones, but
Correct. Depending, I guess, on the star of the show, you're not going to tell Post Malone your time's up here.
yeah, no. And to be honest, it didn't matter what the hell they talked about because they did announce like, okay, so we're on drugs kind of, and this is just like we're going to talk about a bunch of crazy shit. They didn't talk about half of anything that really was like, I mean, they talk about conspiracy theories, like all this crazy stuff. So it was all like, perspectives. And Post Malone was definitely fucked up.
They both were pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Joe Rogan was like, I'm high as hell.
Yeah, mushrooms is that's a crazy drug in itself, and he microdoses.
Yeah, he said he does 10 microdose, or I don't know, he takes 10 microdoses to like wherever he unlocked. But apparently it sounds crazy.
Well, I mean, if any of our listeners has ever done mushrooms, I guess you would understand. Now, I don't know what it is to microdose, but mushrooms is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about microdosing, but apparently it makes you feel well. So I guess someone who said like Post Malone, potentially microdose, you'll feel better. You're happy all the time.
Now, I mean, Frankie, facts. Give me some facts. You're a Post guy. In fact, right behind you, there's like an open beer can that was drank at a Post Malone concert because you are a fanboy and went to a
So
Post Malone concert and got an empty beer can with his face on it. But
so
like,
sadly that got crushed and thrown out.
why? What's the story behind this? Why crushed and thrown out? Why not just thrown out?
Well, because it fell on the floor, and then I also dropped a heavy object on it, like at the same time. So, at one point I was like sitting there with my mouth on the bottle, like I'm like, this is stupid. It looks so stupid.
You tried inflating by blowing a beer can up.
I tried inflating I tried inflating a Bud Light Post Malone can. Yeah.
You are such a fanboy.
I did have it for a while, but like then when people saw it, I was like, are people questioning that I'm like an alcoholic? I just have a Bud Light can in my room.
I mean, I questioned it until you turned it around and there was a piece of Post Malone on it. But
I was very sad when that happened.
I mean, what are the chances that you drop two objects at once and one heavier thing on the other?
I mean, it could have been just me a little intoxicated, watching something, drinking wine, you know.
I don't know. I feel like you have a story there, and you're not telling the true story. But so be it. So be it.
No, I just right behind me. You can see I have a dresser, and two items fell. I was putting something on it. Two items fell at the same freaking time.
Was the other item glass where Post Malone saved it?
It was a cologne bottle, so yes, it is glass.
Man, that must have been a big ass full cologne bottle.
It was a full bottle of Ferragamo cologne.
Ooh, that must suck. But what is Post Malone worth nowadays? Frankie Facts, give us some facts over here.
Well, we all know when we look up someone's net worth, we can't assume it's completely true, but he's apparently anywhere from like 15 mil to like 30 mil.
That makes sense. I mean, he's got some rosé. What else has he got?
He's got Crocs. He made Crocs, yellow, like absurd or obscene looking Crocs. I remember them being super expensive, but they sold out instantly, just like his rosé sold out in 2 days. I mean, to be honest,
I won't buy the rosé. I won't buy the Rocks Terramana, whatever the hell it is.
The rosé sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. Like just berries in it. Just sounds delicious.
Yeah, I mean, if I got a female puppy instead of a boy puppy, we were gonna call him Rosé.
Yeah, yep, that makes sense.
I mean, any girl I talk to, you want to pop some Rosé?
Speaking of girls, so Post Malone, when he first started, in 2015, Kylie Jenner was having her 18th birthday, and she literally sought out. 2015, Post Malone is just popping off. She sought him out to perform at her 18th birthday privately. So like, yeah, that rich, you're like, let me go hire Post Malone real quick.
Well, if Post wasn't popping, I mean, it's not even that expensive.
Yeah, but that network alone is like that. He like right there, boom.
Well, because
he met Kanye West right there.
Stars can identify stars. I was actually listening to Portnoy real quick. He was talking about how Barstools was at the lowest potential point where they could have went bankrupt. They were doing like concerts where he was like a promo guy, and he said he booked Mac Miller for 5 G's in like 2009.
What happened? What Mac Miller?
He managed to book Mac Miller at a college, and Mac Miller, I don't know if it was $5,000 or $500. It might have been $500.
$500,000?
No, $500. So
I was gonna say
it cost him $500 to get Mac to perform at his venue.
Well, when Post Malone performed, he met at Kylie Jenner's 18th birthday. He met Kanye West, and then they collabed shortly after. And then he started working with Justin Bieber. So like he was just in the network.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, he's the hottest artist on earth outside of Drake, I'd say. And I don't even know. Is he global?
I mean, I don't know where he tours, to be honest, but I'm gonna assume
he may not be global.
I don't know. He just has a sound that is everyone seems to love.
Well, the sound is interesting because I don't listen to rock music at all. I don't listen to classic rock. I don't really listen to rock. But when I listen to Post Malone, I can be like, this shit sounds like it's from the 80s.
Yeah, well, that's why people. I mean, that's why he says he's genreless. You know, he is he hip hop? Is he pop? Is he country? Is he
He's
rock?
genreless because that benefits him. Because if you're not put in a specific spectrum, then you can play the music industry much better than if you're segmented. I mean,
Yeah,
he can chart in hip hop, he can chart in pop, he
yeah,
can
yeah,
chart in rock, he can chart all over.
yeah. And you know, the crazy thing is, and it seems like this is a characteristic that many successful people have. He operates on 0 to 2 hours of sleep, sometimes 0.
I just don't get that. Do you know how many hours I slept last night, your boy? How many hours your boy sleep last night?
11, 10,
One of the two.
10.
Yeah, it could have been 10 and a half.
Then I was right on the money.
Yeah. No, you definitely were right on the money. You were right on the money. And
That's like a week's worth of sleep for Post Malone.
that doesn't even make sense because I'm pretty sure he's under the influence quite a bit.
Of
And when you're,
downers.
he talks about his anxiety so much.
Yeah, he says he smoked pot once and he stopped smoking because he had an anxiety attack that never fully suppressed.
So I've heard that from people who have tried smoking pot. I mean, my mom says that, but I'm pretty sure that's just something to say so I don't smoke pot. But I mean, people have said that, but I just feel like he probably does some cocaine, which creates immense anxiety. And I don't know. And he microdoses. I can't imagine that he doesn't have anxiety.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have anxiety before the drugs, then I don't know, then you're in a cycle because eventually then it cures you, then you're like fucking dependent on it, and then you don't. I don't know.
And now, if he's taking antidepressants to relieve anxiety, such as Xanax, I would imagine he's sleeping all day. And if he manages to only sleep 2 hours, then he's Jordan Belfort. This guy.
He's who?
Jordan Belfort. You wouldn't know that because you've never watched Wolf on Wall Street because you're a tool.
Someone actually spoke on him today. I just watched the story, so that's interesting. You brought him up,
and you were probably like, "Who?"
Well, no, he showed a picture of him, but that's why the name was familiar to me.
Yeah,
Actually, it was Jose. You know, big movie buff.
Yeah, well, Jose got one thing right. He didn't get the whole Russ thing right, Jose, but you got the Wolf on Wall Street thing right.
Russ is the man. Russ would agree with Post. He'd tell you you're not tired. You're just not passionate.
No. I think Russ sleeps 10 hours a day like me, to be honest.
But he said that. He actually said that the other day.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you're not passionate about something, you would never commit the time needed to elevate that to, the promised lands. And that's plain and simple. That's facts.
Yeah, and I could imagine for like a music artist, Russ, Post, whoever, when you're passionate about a song, you're gonna stay up till God knows when until you finish it. I mean,
that's creative flow. I mean, that happens. That happens with anyone working. I mean, people who, when I was working on Legacy and trying to get e-commerce and audience set up, and you're building websites, you'd be doing that for hours. And Mark Cuban says that he once worked for 3 days straight because you're in a rhythm. Dr. Dre says that.
Yeah, I've heard Dr. Dre say it. I mean, it makes sense. There's some of the most successful people you just mentioned.
Well, no. I mean, for instance, if we actually really put in effort with this podcast, and over there you're sitting there saying, "Hey, look at my picture, it's better than yours." Yeah, well, your picture means nothing, diddly squat, if you don't sit there and edit this podcast for like 2 days.
I was just creating conversation. You seemed offended that I said my camera.
Well, I had a very stressful day, and then I was going to tell you something in the beginning of the podcast to make you laugh at me, but then I don't want to deal with your stress.
It just sounds like you came home from work on a rough day and you're just taking that on the people that care about you.
Well, you sound foolish because I work from home, so I can't come home from work because I work here.
Well, you got on. This is my home. You're with me. I'm in my room.
Yeah, thanks, kid. So I come in my room, I guess, before, and I'm like, I got to pay this speeding ticket because it's almost due, and I don't want to get double charged. I go
Yeah.
log in, and the ticket's $150. I'm like, what is this? 3 tickets pending. And I got 2 more.
Oh, wow. You caught up to me real quick.
Yeah, well,
Whoa. So that
man.
you know what the worst thing is that you're gonna, if you pay it now, you're gonna be reminded in the mail in like 2 days that you got the ticket.
Well, yeah, I looked and I paid this ticket now. This ticket was for like June 20th. And I look to see what other 2 tickets are pending because, like, what? You just get a bunch of tickets pending? I had one for like the 24th and the 26th of July. I'm like, it was 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, that's rough, bro. If they're by your house, that's just silly. You got
They
caught in a trap.
are.
You got
They
caught in a
are.
trap. Got
Yo,
caught in a trap.
you try to catch me riding dirty. I don't care. I'll pay the ticket, fart in your face.
Yeah, it sounds like you riding dirty. That's for sure.
Fart in your face. Take the money out, fart in your face.
Oh man, this is like it sounds like it's getting to the Joe Rogan and Post Malone Experience. Just talking about random shit nonsense.
Yeah, I felt terrible though because like, yo, our boy Dennis back in Costa Rica, our private chef. I mean, I'm talking to him. He's struggling with money, so I'm getting ready to send him money, but he doesn't have Cash App or Venmo. And I'm like, how do I send you money? And then he's like, he's trying to figure it out. And then
He
as
doesn't
he's
even
trying,
know.
he can't even tell me where to send him money.
That sounds
Which
like a bad country to be in.
correct. And then on top, like in between this, and he's yet to respond back to me, I realize I have to pay $150 in tickets. Now I'm like, fuck, that was my dentist funds.
That was his dentist funds. Oh man, sorry, Dennis. I was going a mile over the speed limit.
I mean, it's not that. I'll still, Dennis, shout out, Dennis. You're a big supporter. Appreciate you. You make banging food.
Dennis
I mean,
is the man. Dennis is the man.
Dennis said, whenever we're in Costa Rica, he'll swing by, chef it up. He's so thankful that I even thought about sending him cash. And Dennis, I'll still send you cash. It just may be a little less.
Yeah, well, next, like you said, off air, that's our boy now. So next time we're in Costa Rica, Dennis, if you somehow hear this in Costa Rica,
we hook you up, but we ain't got Post Malone money, remember?
we ain't got Post Malone money.
Yeah. But right now, these tickets are making me fall apart.
Oh, I fall apart.
Oh, man. Shout out to all them bitches that broke my heart. And I don't like calling women that, but if you broke my heart, then you are in that category.
Yeah, but I don't like those women either that broke my heart, but I won't be vulgar right now.
Well, I mean, a broken heart is, me and Post Malone, we know a lot about it. And, women are beautiful, awesome sex. And,
all right.
And I just they break my heart.
You know what's interesting? When you're watching like Joe Rogan and Post, it's like, so Post is like talking about his conspiracy theories. Joe Rogan just leads everything. Somehow he has a pit of endless knowledge about random shit.
No, that's very interesting. So Joe Rogan is essentially an interviewer. And he has to like the skill we are learning doing this is the skill he has, except he's an expert professional. So if he has a scientist come on, he can direct that conversation and pull conversation out of them. And then if he has Post Malone come on, who may be like, slightly boring or less informed.
Yeah, less informative for sure.
Yeah, well, Post Malone didn't really say much in that interview. He was just kind of going with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, they were hanging out. That was that's why it could be anyone. I guess that's why it's like such a free.
Yeah, but that's why I would never want to do a podcast. Well, at least our show, because we got to be on the money. I can't be fucked up doing the show. I mean, I had to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Like if we were, well, we drink when we're, hanging out, having these conversations, but like, they were getting, I mean, that puts your mind somewhere else though. So that does give you conversation that you wouldn't have. They do say that. They do say like, when you smoke a little bit of weed or you sip a little something, all of a sudden you have these thoughts. You're like, oh, would I have thought this if I wasn't? It was interesting to hear their conversations. But like,
I guess, but I can't really do anything productive.
But you
Where
can't smoke a huge blunt. Joe Rogan smokes a spliff over like 3.5 hours.
I don't know. I've seen Joe Rogan get blasted. I don't know. I mean, I've came on the show even slightly high, and it was
Slightly
not.
blasted.
Oh, whoa! You just like call me out today, huh? Yeah, no. What is that? What is that?
You
Bro,
said blasted, so I
no,
said
I
blasted.
didn't. No, I didn't.
You
I don't
said
think I did.
you said Joe
Listen,
Rogan has been blasted.
listen. To our like 30 listeners, avid listeners, you can't be like putting me on the spot like that.
I just figured, it's a Post Malone episode. We're just free balling a cheerful, chaotic time.
So what? I guess it gives us the leisure or the warrant. It warrants us to talk about drugs because Post Malone apparently built his empire. But I'm telling you, a big brick had to be some sort of drugs.
Well, regardless, he's killing it. Can't wait. He said he's working on new music as of April 24th. So hopefully that comes out, and I am hyped. Certainly need me some new Posty.
Yeah, I wanna know how Alex feels knowing that you carelessly dropped your memory. What do you call that thing?
A memory that I had of him that was a Bud Light bottle with Post Malone's face on it.
Yeah, what would that called? That's like when you go to a country and you bring something back. What's that called?
I mean, I'm pretty lost. I feel like I know what the word is too.
I know it's like a gift, but it's called something else.
Well, I mean, he's happy I'm doing the Post Malone episode. I certainly told him he was excited about that. I don't think I really told him that I crushed Post Malone.
Yeah. Yo, what time are we on the show?
27 minutes.
All right. Well, look, I'm out. I gotta pay my fines.
No, he farted in the camera. I don't gotta pay my fines. I drive the speed limit, guys. Peace.
Peace.